Welcome to our demo showcasing the WordPress table plugin, vTables.PRO. First, let's get started by installing the vTables.PRO plugin. You can download it from the official website. Once you have the file, follow these simple steps. Click the Add New Plugin button. Select Upload Plugin. Click Browse to choose the file from your computer. Once you've selected the file, click Install Now. Finally, click Activate Plugin. After the plugin is installed and activated, don't forget to activate your license, which you obtained from the website. That's it for this step. Let's move on to the next one. I've prepared a spreadsheet with images and links to demonstrate how this data will be displayed. Let's upload this file. You can either click the Pick File button to select the file or simply drag and drop it. Once the file is uploaded, you can close the pop-up. Now, let's open our table. Here is our spreadsheet with several columns and rows containing different types of data. Let's open the settings to explore our options. In the Columns tab, we have several select boxes and a few toggles. The first select box allows us to show or hide columns. Simply click the toggle button to show or hide a specific column. The next select box lets us set the maximum width for each column, and we can also set the minimum width. Let's set it for some columns to see how it works. As you can see, we now have a horizontal scroll bar. To keep the first and last columns always visible, we can make them sticky. Let's save our changes. Let's move to the Dimensions tab. It's pretty straightforward. You can set the height and width of the table here. Now, let's check the Export tab. Here, you can export your table as a CSV or JSON file. Now, let's export it as JSON. Here it is. Here's the Pagination tab. You can show or hide the pagination bar and change its background and text colors. It might look something like this. You can also change the number of records displayed per page. If we click on arrow buttons, we see how it works. Next up is the Rows tab. Here, you can set the link type if you have links in your spreadsheet. Let's switch the setting to Button and change its label. Click the button to see how it works. It opened a link from the spreadsheet. You can also change the button color and label. Additionally, you can enable Image pop-up if your spreadsheet contains images. Click on an image to see it in action. You can also adjust the image dimensions and vertical alignment. Let's move to the next tab. Now, let's look at the Search tab. You can turn on the search functionality, change the field color if you'd like, and adjust the input style. Let's make it filled. Let's type something to see search in action. Here you go. It works perfectly. Save your settings. On the Sorting tab, you can add sorting functionality to your columns, enable binary sorting to skip the unsorted state, and adjust the sort order. Let's see how it works. There you go. Save your changes and move on. The Style tab contains settings for the overall appearance. You can change the background color, text color, cell separator, remove table shadows, and make the table denser. I'll make some changes to show you how it works. I've changed the background color, but since we set a background color for the first column, let's remove it to make the background uniform. Turn off the sticky column option. And now we have the same background color for all columns. Let's hide some columns to simplify the view. For now, let's save our changes and move to the next tab. Now, let's look at the top tab. Here, you can hide the header, hide the title, change the background color of the section, change the background color of the table's head cells, and make the header sticky. Okay, now we're going to save our changes and move to the next tab. In the View tab, you can switch the table view to look like a grid if you want. Here it is. Finally, the Reset tab pretty much speaks for itself. Here, you can reset all your settings to default. Now let's move to the next part of the showcase. In this step, we'll import a spreadsheet from Google Sheets. I've already prepared a file with some data. Let's get started. First, click on File, Share. Share with others in Google Sheets. Under the General Access section, select Anyone with the link, then click the Copy Link button. Now, head back to our plugin and click the Add Table button. In the pop-up, select the Remote Files tab. Here, you can give your table a name, paste the link, and click Import. That's it. Now we can close the pop-up and open the table to see how it looks. Next, I want to show you how we can update the spreadsheet and fetch these changes. Let's go back to the Google Sheet and add a new column with images. You can use any image URL as long as it has an image extension at the end, like JPG, PNG, GIF, etc. Once the column with images is added, return to the plugin and click the Fetch button to update the table. There you go. Now we can see the images. To make the table look nicer, let's adjust the image size and enable the image pop-up for image previews. Now, if we click on an image, it will open in a pop-up. Before we add links and buttons, let's save our changes. Back in the Google Sheet, let's add a column with links. I've prepared some links, so I'll just paste them in. Then, we'll fetch these changes in our table. Now that we can see the column with the links, let's make it a bit prettier by showing the links as buttons and changing the button label. Let's click on a button to see how it works. There you go. Next, let's add a search function. Save your changes first. Then click the On button for the search feature. You can choose the search field color and select the input style: borderless, filled, outlined, or standard. Let's go with filled. Now, let's see it in action. Works just perfect. Now, we'll add sorting functionality. Just switch the toggle to On. You can also enable binary sorting, which skips the third state, unsorted. You can adjust the sort order to be ascending or descending. Let's see how it works. Let's save current settings. Let's look at the Pagination tab. Here, you can change the number of records per page. Let's set it to 5 to see how it works. Or, we can revert to the initial value. Since our table only has 10 records, we can simply hide the pagination. Finally, in this part, let's quickly review what else we have in the settings. View tab. Switch between grid or table views. Top tab. Change the background color and text color in the top section. Show, hide the header, change colors, and make the header sticky. Style tab. Change the table body's colors. Make the table dense and flat, and adjust the cell separator. Export tab. Save your table as CSV or JSON. Dimension tab. Set the height and width of the table. Columns tab. Show hide columns. Set minimum and maximum widths for each column, and make columns sticky. For the rest of the tabs, we went over each of them in more detail using the previous part with local CSV file example, so feel free to check that out. Now let's move to the next part of the showcase. Now in the next part of this video, let's import products from WooCommerce. All you need to do is select a product category or categories from the select box, name your table, and click Import. That's it. Here are our WooCommerce products. As you can see, it pulled all the attributes and other product information, so the table is quite wide. Let's hide some columns to simplify the view and understand the logic better. Okay, so now this is done. Next, let's add a search function to the table. Let's see how it works. Now, let's add sorting functionality. Here you go. We can now sort our columns. Let's save our settings. Now, I'll show you how to place the table on a page. Just copy and paste the shortcode. Once copied, open a page where you want to place the shortcode and click the Update button to save the edits. Let's view the page. Here, how it looks on the front end. Let's do a quick walkthrough. You can click on an image. If there are multiple images, you'll see clickable thumbnails. Each product name is wrapped in a product link, which opens the product page, but you can turn this off in the settings if you don't need it. Let's add a few items to the cart. As you can see, the cart icon was updated, and we received a notification, which you can customize or turn off completely. Let's go back to make some edits. I'll show you the settings in the WooCommerce tab. Here, you can turn off the product link. As you can see, it doesn't have a link anymore. You can also change the link color. You can turn off notifications, so when you click Add to Cart, there won't be a toast message. We'll keep it on so the user sees a notification when a product is added to the cart. You can also change the background and text colors, the notification message, and the notification timer. Set 1 to make the notification message permanent. You can also remove the link to cart or change its text. Next, let's extend our columns. Open the Columns tab and unhide the attribute columns. Set the minimum width for the columns to make it look nicer. Now, we can make the first or last column sticky. Let's do that with the last column to improve user experience. We'll also set a background color for the last column to distinguish it as sticky. Check how it looks on the sample page. Here you go. No matter how wide our table is, the user will always see the column with Add to Cart, which might be more convenient. Now, I'll show you how to change the behavior of the Add to Cart button. First, let's change the button label to Buy Now. Then, open WooCommerce settings, go to the Products tab, check the Redirect to the Cart page after successful addition checkbox and click Save Changes. Let's see how it works. Here you go. It works as expected. That's pretty much it. We have some other tabs in the Settings panel that we didn't cover in this example, but we reviewed them in the part with CSV and Google Sheets examples, so there's no need to repeat them. Feel free to check those examples out. Thanks for watching.